Yesterday, I guess I was just in a state of sadness, despair, distress, and concern to make a video. But today, I've had a bit more think, and I think Doctor Who is gone. Now, will it come back? Well, it's come back before, but let's just go over what's happened. It started in the 60s with William Hartnell, and he changed into Patrick Troughton, and then he changed into John Pertwee. Then there's been so many doctors. Here they all are. You all know them, so I won't name them. And then Ncuti Gatwa. Is Ncuti Gatwa our last Doctor? I hope not. Doctor Who's gone, but is it gone forever? Well, Russell T Davies is basically gone. Bad Wolf Studios is gone. The Disney Plus deal is long since gone. The BBC have put it out to a tender. Now, hopefully, it gets picked up. Now, I feel sad. I was looking forward to seeing what the Christmas special was going to be about. I was looking forward to seeing what happens with Billie Piper's Doctor, if she was the Doctor. Looking forward to maybe seeing Susan, Caroline Ford. I was looking forward to seeing, hopefully a bit, David Tennant appeared. I was looking forward to seeing, I was looking forward to Christmas. And I thought this Christmas is going to be brilliant. It's got Doctor Who Christmas special, it's got Avengers Doomsday, and it's got the new Harry Potter series. Now, one out of the three is gone, and that's okay, because I write fan fiction. I don't, as you know, and I don't put my ideas, I don't go, but I, I keep a lot of the fan fiction to myself, and I might share them. But with this one, Rose wasn't the Doctor in my fan fiction. The new Doctor's consciousness went in her body, transported her from the parallel universe to our universe. A girl saved her, and then she alerted the 14th Doctor to the fact that it wasn't Rose and the Doctor's mind was in Rose's body. 14th Doctor then did that speech from New Earth where it was like, give her back to me. So then the Doctor's consciousness, the other Doctor, which was basically the Doctor, his consciousness left Rose's mind. Because in New Earth, the 10th Doctor said to Cassandra, you shouldn't be in Rose's body that long. You're compressing Rose to death. So in a body swap, if somebody else's mind goes in your body, they compress you to death. So in my version, it wasn't Rose who was the new Doctor, but rather the new Doctor's somehow consciousness who was the Dark Doctor, went into Rose's body and sort of kidnapped her from the parallel universe and put her inside a TARDIS that was full of fire. Rose then got noticed by a girl called Lily, who knew the Doctor anyway, so alerted the Doctor to the fact. And then Lily's daughter ended up working in the Time Hotel. But that's just my fan fiction. And I'm still writing, I've been writing my stories for about 12 years. I'm going to write the end of my stories this year and maybe put my stories on a bit of a break. And anyway, this video is to talk about Doctor Who. And is Doctor Who gone forever? Well, it just depends if a new tender picks it up. Hopefully Amazon Prime, hopefully Netflix, hopefully, hopefully something will. And that's all we have to do in life, just live and hope. And, what a fantastic time we've had with Doctor Who so far. I bet, An Adventure in Time and Space. I love that show. It's the Doctor Who, that David Bradley got the part, and it shows how he became, William Hartnell, and how it started off. Well, they ran into difficulties and they didn't think it was going to work, and they were a bit, worried about the Daleks and stuff. And then, John Nathan Turner, he brought it back. And then the wilderness years. Now, I didn't live through the wilderness years, and my family did live through the wilderness years, but, they were busy, they were traveling, and, they were working, and they were, you know, sailing. So, and they weren't that big on Doctor Who then. They were big in Doctor Who at the beginning, but in the wilderness years, I don't think they were that fussed. But when Doctor Who came back, late, my family loved showing it to me and my brothers. And then, so my hope for what I hope for Doctor Who is I've had a fantastic time being a fan of Doctor Who, and I will continue to be a fan of Doctor Who. But what I hope is the CBeebies is good, because I've got a little nephew who's one, and I'm looking forward to showing him. He's starting to get into a little bit of Doctor Who. He's got a Doctor Who children's book. He's starting to recognise what the TARDIS is. He doesn't call it the TARDIS. He says, he points at a police box at the TARDIS and he says, Doctor Who. And I say, ooh, who's your favourite Doctor? Now, he doesn't know who any of them are because he's one. But he says, oh, the Blue Doctor. Oh, right, well, the 14th Doctor wears a blue jacket. So the the 14th Doctor's your favourite Doctor. And sometimes he says the Green Doctor. Well, in Series 6, Part 2, Matt Smith, the 11th Doctor, wore a green jacket. And so did John Pertwee, the 3rd Doctor. So I was like, oh, well, he could be a favourite Doctor. So I hope the CBeebies is good, because I'll watch it with him. But I also hope if it does go away for a few years, it does what it did with me. It comes back when I'm about 7 or 8, and it comes back when my nephew's 7 or 8. And then I hope he gets into it like I got into it. And, early Doctor Who for me was going to town with my grandma and buying the Doctor Who action figures. And I'll still get the Doctor Who action figures, but they're more collectibles now. So I hope they bring Doctor Who back when my nephew's a bit older. And I look forward to taking him to town and getting him Doctor Who, toys. And if he's into it, I hope he is into it. But, I'm looking forward to seeing more Big Finish. I've heard Rose Tyler to mention, Canna. I've heard Ronnie Chandra Takes on the World. I've heard some of the Christmas Big Finish. I've heard some of the 10th Doctor volumes. So I hope to, listen to more Big Finish. Listen a bit more. I've never actually watched Torchwood, and I'm hoping to watch a bit more Torchwood. And because I've seen Evie Miles in quite a few things recently, and I kind of remembered how good she was as Gwen Cooper. It's always upsetting what happened with John Barrowman. I think it was a situation that got out of hand, but anyways, we're not really talking about that. I think for him to be suddenly axed from everything, basically, over something he did years before, it's not like he did it on, the episode he was Revolution of the Daleks with, when he came back. I don't know if he did it, but, they seem to bring something up that happened years ago, and out of the blue when they were just starting to get him back into it. But my heart breaks for Billie Piper because I feel, they've sort of just brought her in and out, just dumped her. And Rose is the best, and Billie Piper's the best. And I feel they've sort of just, kind of spoiled that character if they're not going to do anything with it. I am going to For the Love of Fantasy in August, and Billie Piper's there. But I don't think she'll probably want to talk about what's just happened in terms of Doctor Who. But hopefully we can get through the wilderness years. They got through it before. There was big fans like I am now, my family watched Doctor Who right up until the end of the Sylvester McCoy years. So Leigh went through that to the TV movie, and from the TV movie to the revival. So Leigh lived through that, and found other shows. They're big on Star Trek. I've never really been watching Star Trek, but I might start. I have wanted to watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer for start watching that for a while, and maybe it's a good time, in honor of Anthony Head, who played Mr. Finch. He's just died. He also played the Professor in Buffy, and he played Kinufa in a favourite program of mine, Merlin. So I might watch Buffy. I'm just started watching a series called Fallen Skies, which is great. It's sci-fi. It's on Netflix, and I'm looking forward to the new Harry Potter series. And we've still got Avengers Doomsday, and yeah, hopefully I'm still gonna get Doctor Who's magazine every month. Heck, I applied in January for the monthly subscription, so I still get that through the door. And I was gonna maybe cancel it and start getting it from the shop, but I think I'll keep that up just for update. And hopefully it doesn't take them too long to get another partner or bring it back. But Big Finish will hopefully still be making new content, and other people's fan fiction. If you want to read my fan fiction, just comment below and I will get you. I'll send some of my content out to you that I've written. So hopefully the Doctor Who cast still continues to go to cons. I still would love to meet Jodie Whittaker, Mandip Gill. I'm meeting Catherine Tate in October at Liverpool, and I was going to get a duo photo with her and David Tennant, but it sold out like that. It got offered, and on the Thursday night, and I got paid midnight Thursday, Friday, and I woke up, and because I fell asleep about 10, I woke up at 12 o'clock to pay for the photo, and it had been sold out. Frustrating. But yeah, I'm meeting Catherine Tate, I'm meeting Billy Piper again. Heck, hopefully close at the time there will be somebody who puts their duo photo of David and Catherine on tickets, and I'll get that. So hopefully, Christopher Eccleston comes back now, because he was like, sack Russell T Davies, sack Julia Garner, sack Phil Collinson, and then I'll come back. He said that in this video, so Christopher Eccleston might just come back and save it all. And so we can only live in hope that it comes back eventually. Heck, better thought that through the end of the 80s, beginning of the 90s and early 2000s, and it came back. I just woke up very early this morning, about 4 o'clock, and missing Doctor Who, and I thought, oh, I'll watch the TV movie. So I got the TV movie on iPlayer of Paul McGann, and that was brilliant. I'm surprised that didn't get when it was such a big gap from that before the 2005 series. But it's clear Russell T Davies didn't have the same. He wasn't the same this time round as he was in the first time he wrote Doctor Who, and maybe lost interest. I don't actually know that much about John Nathan Turner, but from what I've heard, I think maybe he dropped off a little bit towards the end. And I don't know if you can sort of compare the two of them, but they are the big writers I kind of know about: Russell T Davies, Stephen Moffat, and John Nathan Turner. Chris Chibnall was quite good. I think I'm the only one who kind of likes Chris Chibnall's writing. Although I watched one the other day, and it was good, but I think out of all of them, Stephen Moffat's been the best. So should Stephen Moffat come back? Well, if his second 10 years like Russell T Davies, maybe not. They need fresh eyes, they need fresh faces, they need thinking caps. And I write for fun in my spare time, but could I write professionally for Doctor Who? I think not, because my stories, they're good, but people who are close to me have given me their honest opinions on my stories, and I'm not J.K. Rowling. I'm not, C.S. Lewis. I'm not Tolkien. I'm not any big writer like that. So I don't think I would be able to write for Doctor Who. But good luck to the person who does next, because, you know, I think hopefully if Doctor Who comes back, brand new Doctor, brand new showrunner, brand new companion. And I think whoever the next Doctor is, they should be Ginger, because they've never been Ginger and they've always wanted to be Ginger. But we can only live in hope that it comes back. But for now, do what I do. I'm going to keep listening to Big Finish. For £20 a month for a new audio, just to keep Doctor Who alive, and to get the magazine every month, and to buy new novels, and hopefully the cast will continue to go to Comic Cons. It will continue to exist in my life, and hopefully it will be on the screen again. Bye.